Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. So today is Sunday. I have an hour and I have 25 bucks. Well, I used to have 25 bucks. So I went to the store and bought $25 worth of things, and these things we're going to combine to make 5 lunches and 5 snacks for you to take to work. Now, if you don't work or you work from home, that's okay. You have it in the fridge. So that way you're not standing in the pantry eating that bag of chips trying to figure out what you're going to have for lunch. All done for you. Literally takes an hour to do. So let's get into it. All right, so we're going to start with our protein. This is what I'm using for protein. I'm using salmon and chicken thighs. I'm using chicken thighs because A, they're less expensive, and B, they're a little bit juicier because it is dark meat. You can use whatever you want. Salmon can get expensive. I just happened to grab it on sale this week. This is maybe $3 worth of salmon, so that works out fine. You can use canned tuna, canned salmon, chicken, beef, pork, whatever you want. If you don't want to use meat at all, then just cook up a couple cups of beans, keep that in the fridge, and that's what we can use for our protein. So I'm just going to sprinkle salt and pepper on both of these. You can spice it whatever way you want. Doesn't really matter. So these are going to go in the oven until they're cooked. Well, I'm going to use my air fryer oven, but you can use whatever you want. And I'll be back to start prepping the rest of the stuff. All right, so I've wiped everything down because I know I did have raw chicken on here. It didn't touch any of the other food. So I did wipe that down, and now we're going to start just prepping stuff. So I have a cup of rice here that I have rinsed thoroughly, and now it's just draining. So once that's all drained, I'm going to get that on the stove. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to crush up this garlic as well and saute that in a little bit of butter before I put the rice and the liquid in. But even before I put the liquid in, we're going to toast up a little bit of this rice. Gives it a little bit more of a nutty flavor, and it is quite delicious. So if you've never actually toasted your rice before you add the liquid, give that a shot. All right, so let's start prepping the veggies. Now we're not going to be putting all 5 meals together. What we're going to be doing is just cutting what we can, getting it into a container, getting it in the fridge. So in the morning, all you have to do is grab some ingredients, throw it together in a container, and you're good to go. So peppers, we're just going to cut like normal. Get rid of this white pithy stuff here. Just going to slice them thick or thin as you want. Okay, and I'm going to put these in this container here. As neatly as possible, I guess. Don't forget, you can use the top of the pepper as well. Okay, that's going to go on there. Now we're going to shred a carrot. All right, so that's going to go in with your peppers. Both of them are pretty hearty. They're not going to get all wet and gross. Because you're shredding a carrot as well, you're not going to need a lot when you're putting your dishes together. Just adds a nice little sweet crunch. All right, so that's one of them done. Now on to the lettuce. So we are going to be using that grater for cheese. So before you start your lettuce, just go give that a rinse and kind of dry it, because make sure it's totally dry when you're going to be ready to do the cheese, because wet cheese is kind of gross. All right, so we're just going to cut off the bottom part here, and we're going to cut it in half. We're not going to cut this into little strips or ribbons at this point in time, just because that breaks down the lettuce and it makes it really dry. So we're just going to do this. I have a paper towel here. This is going to soak up any excess moisture, and we are going to stick it into a big bag. Now I bought these were on sale. I think I got them like $1 something at the dollar store. These are awesome. They're reusable. If you don't have one of these, just use a regular large Ziploc bag. So that's that done. So now this is going to go into the fridge. So for some of the other things, cucumbers, I'm not going to chop up until the morning of. And I just found this out recently as well. Your cucumbers shouldn't be going in the fridge because it makes them mushy. So just leave it out on the counter until you're ready to use it. Same with tomatoes. Tomatoes are supposed to be kept at room temperature. I may cut up some of these because I think I might use it for tomorrow's lunch. I'm not sure yet. I have a few options, so I'll make that decision later. So for the onion, I'm just going to chop up half of this, and I'm going to use the other half for something else. So this is just going to go in the fridge like this, and if I do need more, then I do have it ready to go to cut up if needed. So this, you can cut it any way you want. You can cut it into half moons. You can cut those in half. You can dice them. I'm just going to cut it into like little chunks. And that is also going to go into its own small little glass container so that the flavor of it doesn't seep into other things. And that's also going to go in the fridge. All right, so there's still a few ingredients here left. Once the rice is done, I'm going to throw these 2 eggs in. And these 3 apples are going to be for my snacks as well. I am going to prep one of these today just to show you how I do it, so that if I'm somewhere where I don't have access to a knife, it's already cut up. This is also just going to stay in the bag for now. I can just open it and use what I need, and then just use the elastic band to close it. Okay, so we're going to do the cheese. So we're going to do half and half here. So some of this is going to be for snacks. Some of this is going to be for our actual lunch. So I'm going to just chop these fairly thick. And we're just going to cube this. And then the other half we're going to shred. You can cut your cheese any way you want. Cube it large, small, doesn't matter. Use whatever cheese you want. If you're dairy free, you can either use, or vegan, you can use vegan style cheese, or you can just leave this whole step out. I enjoy cheese in my salads, and I really like it with like apples and grapes and that kind of stuff. So both of these cheeses are going to go into the same container. And this is just easy to grab as well. And as you can see, it's not taking that long at all to prep this stuff. All right, let's get our grater out. It is dry. So for shredded cheese, I always get the block. I've talked about this before. I'll speak on it again. It is at least 5 times less expensive to get the block and shred it yourself. It does not take long to shred cheese. And one large 750 gram block will give you, is that what this one is? Sorry, 700 gram block. If you're gonna shred it all, will give you 8 cups, which is, I think, 4 times the amount that you can get in one of those little bags. And like I said, super cheap. All right. So there's the shredded cheese. I'm gonna throw that in here. Actually, I might have to have 2 containers, which is fine. I might just put that into a jar and use it during the week for dinners. And I'll just cube this little piece up. That's left over. This is gonna go, lid's gonna go on this, and this is gonna go in the fridge, and your cheese is now done. All right, so we're just gonna prep a snack here. So this is gonna be my snack for tomorrow. Just gonna throw a handful of almonds into here. This gives you some good fat, along with some cheese in the middle. This is cube cheese that we just did. Okay, for our apple. Wipe this off. There we go. All I'm gonna do is just cut the sides off. Okay, and try to remember where everything went, because we're just going to put this back together, and we are going to throw an elastic band around it. So this prevents you, or prevents the apple, I guess, from getting all brown. This makes this portable and easy. Oops, that elastic one, I'll grab another one. So it makes it portable and easy, and you don't have to worry about having a knife, so you can take this and eat this anywhere. All right, so one of the dishes I'm gonna make is kind of like Asian inspired. It's gonna be some salmon with some cabbage and that kind of stuff. So I'm just gonna make a very simple dressing. In here, there's 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. I'm going to add a little bit of ginger, along with some rice wine vinegar. If you don't have that, you can use whatever vinegar you have. Tiny bit, along with some sesame oil, a little bit of honey, just for a little bit of sweetness, lime juice, red pepper flakes. You don't have to add those if you don't like them spicy. That's okay, it's up to you. Just a few. Just add a little bit spice and some just regular oil. I'm gonna use olive oil. You can use whatever oil you want. I'm just gonna mix this up. So I'll put these in little containers and put it in with, or into the fridge, in those little containers, so I just have to grab and go. You can add soy to this as well, or you can add some salt. Just do it to your own. That tastes pretty good. All right, so there's peanut dressing for one of our lunches. Okay, so we're just gonna make a simple vinaigrette now. I have some lemon zest in the jar. Squeeze some lemon juice. Make sure that those seeds don't go in. Okay, there's that. Now I like a little bit of Dijon in mine. You don't have to add this if you don't want to. I just think it gives it a little, I don't know, depth, I guess you can say. So we are gonna put just a tiny bit in. We are going to put some salt in, along with some oil. So the oil should be twice the amount, at least, of your acid. So your acid in this case would be lemon juice. Just gonna shake this up, and we are going to give it a little taste to see if everything is a little bit more salt. Actually, I'm gonna see if I can get a little bit more lemon juice out of this as well. Okay, we shake that. Give it a little taste again. Perfect. That one is one of the easiest dressings to make. We're going to use that a couple times as well this week. I may need to make more, but as you can see, it's super simple. Lemon, oil, salt. All right, so the proteins are done. So what I did is I just put it into one container. I just chopped up the chicken again. Makes it easy in the morning. All right, so let me show you one of the dishes I'm going to be taking. It is like a Thai salmon bowl. So I have the rice, that's done. That's been put in the container along with the salmon. I'm going to add some cabbage here. I'm just gonna put the cabbage in here, and then I can mix it all together. Because as you see, I have my little dressing thing in there as well. We're gonna add a few peppers. You can chop these up too if you want. I'm just gonna leave them whole, that's fine. along with some shredded carrots. There we go. So tomorrow for lunch, all I have to do is mix it all together with the dressing and lunch is done. So there you have a super simple prep to make 5 lunches, 5 snacks for your work week, or just to have at home for lunch during the week, whatever you want. Easy, simple, inexpensive, healthy. Definitely healthy and a lot less expensive than going out every day for lunch. So if you want to see what I'm making for the rest of the week, then just follow me on Instagram or Facebook, Canadian Girl in the Kitchen, and then you'll see what I'm doing with the rest of the stuff that I've prepped this week. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.